everybody, and welcome to Duronni's Echo. I'm Michael, he, him, and I'll be your Dungeon Master. A story of mysteries and shadows. Our brave party embarks on a quest in, and maybe even beyond, the walls of Dreadstone. Will they unravel the arcane enigma that binds them to unseen forces? Every roll shapes tonight's tale in a dance of shadows and eldritch whispers. Let's meet the players and have a word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Nat. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, Dr. Elethnora Duronni. Previously, head scientist at Nexus Arts Laboratory of Magical Sciences. Most recently seen, definitely doomed to death on Corazon at the hands of the elder evil Ragnora. She was abandoned by the gate crashers, so she's definitely gone forever, right? Well, maybe not.
Hi, my name is Tom. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Amaris. Amaris Giftig, she, her. I am a hagling and a necromancer, and well, previously I used to be an intern for the Monster Hunters. Now I'm a intern here, fighting the dead. Things never change.
Hi, my name's Talia. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing xin'moira Lethram. She, they, Dampier cleric of Kalemvul. After a small crisis of faith, trying to think about what good the gods actually do in the world, and thinking she's going to be more help actually going out and fighting evil rather than just staying in a cloister, or she bids a tearful goodbye to her family and her new team and goes off here to go and do what she can fighting the hordes of the undead. It's actually quite nice.
Hi, I'm Sean, he, him, and I will be playing Xirius Serene Potent Worm, also he, him. Xirius is a dragonborn armourer artificer / forge cleric. Trained as an archaeologist at Strixhaven, then posted to Candlekeep as an envoy between there and the High House of Wonders in Baldur's Gate, where he met his wife of nearly 20 years. When she passed, he left the gate to undertake fieldwork down at Dreadstone Wall as an artisan, and came a little too close to comfort to some of the ills there. But if you want to find out more, you'll have to keep watching the show.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack math rocks for use in your favourite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made from sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check their entire selection, and if you put !dice in the chat right now, you can enter yourself into a raffle with the chance to win some dice for yourself.
Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can join us from as little as one of your local currency by following the link in chat or in the description below. Our D20 Club are the best. They have created a fan Discord for us, as well as a wiki page to keep track of all the Roll Together stories. And you can find that at rolltogether.fandom.com.
We are delighted to be sponsored by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation, then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you can get yourself a free election chest.
You can find us across social media by searching for Roll Together RPG or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and you want to see our previous episodes, you can catch up straight afterwards on Twitch, YouTube, or your favourite podcast provider by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out !safety in chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
Hello, and welcome to Duronni's Echo. Part 2. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Michael, he, him, and I'm gonna DM again for this story. I don't
That's
think
so apologetic
would
about that.
replace me.
We replace you after the first episode.
We had a really strong start with epic battles and some pretty epic moments, specifically from Moira, basically making mincemeat out of undead, and Amaryllis successfully not falling off a tower for the many times. Some rather epic entrances from a certain returning character, and some small discoveries, I sort of think we could say at this moment in time, plus a concerning battle, but to not my surprise, because we have so many casters making my life very difficult, you very swiftly have handled this combat so far. But last we left, you were getting help from Marshal Odendra, who asked the players what they would like to do. So, we are in a sort of courtyard as such. For everybody at home who may not have caught the first episode, we actually have a map that you can use to follow us along. I don't know if it'll pop up once again or a link will be popped out for you to have a little look. But for the context of everybody at home, the players are currently fighting between the Duskforge depths, the Shadow Peak Tower, and the Arcanum, between what's left of a siege piece of equipment that was destroyed by the body of an undead, and one that seems to be intact for now. The battle raged for not particularly that long between Moira's gutting of the undead once again, and some very cleverly placed spells of Dr. Nora, Duronni, and Amaryllis, Serious getting stuck in. And maybe an unfortunate panicked attack from our new friend, Thalia Frost, who has returned back into the Arcanum for now.
I got.
She was very apologetic.
I was going to say, she did apologise. This problem with spellcasting is like, oh, splash damage, whoops, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Lining the walls are the soldiers of Dreadstone. It is currently their turn. But Marshal Odendra has called towards the players using the word has left my brain. Clever mindy mind, boopity boop stuff.
Message.
Message?
Send
Message. There we go. Thank you very much.
Boop, boop.
I'm a DM, guys. To ask whether you wish them to be eviscerated or captured. Would you like to re-respond? I believe we had one response from Nora, but is there anything else the players would like to say? As never forget, talking is always a free action.
Can we all hear Nora basically giving the order? Because
For the context of this, the question has been sent out to all of you.
And then Nora...
Is she like Rary's telepathic bonded us or something?
Something like that.
Sure. Let's say
Clever,
yes.
powerful wizard.
Yeah, so you've heard, Adendra said something like, would you like us to take one as a test subject or something? And Nora has gone, yes, that will be most useful.
Yeah. Both Mora and Amorous just give a thumbs up. Is there a preference? Big one, little one? What aren't we blowing
Imagine
up?
one of the smaller ones will be easier to control.
Just let us know so that we don't punch it accidentally.
They're kind of in my range of fire, so, grab them out of me.
At this point, I feel like this is a good time to give you a context of what's out there still. You have one incredibly dead, massive one that you ripped to pieces already. You have two that are looking very rough after Xerius had his way with them. And
Boo?
then you've got...
Xerius, honestly, keep it on your own time.
And then you have four...
Just used my fists on them, that's all.
Yes. Where's the boo? Where's the boo? Oh, we're not tainting the boo.
It's
I actually prepared my boo card today.
I refuse to boo. Oh no! Ooh!
Ooh. Wait, no. Boo.
Ooh!
And four relatively okay ones, including a very large one that still looks pretty chunky. It is now their turn. Oh, no, it is the soldier's turn. Odendra, with your response, glances along the line, and you notice her looking up towards the nearest tower, the Shadow Peak Tower, and you can see sort of scuffling around there is a couple of soldiers as she sort of glances up to them and whistles, and you notice them, two of them like switching over one of the ballistas. They've taken something off the ballista and they've replaced it with something else. You're welcome to make a perception check if you want. Xerius, this would be at advantage.
Ooh,
Advantage for me.
a lovely gift.
I mean, it would be rude to not. That is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Xerius, you recognize this as, I imagine you probably worked on it alongside. It's a net propulsion dart, basically. But the clever thing about it is you've wrapped it with lightning to cripple basically what it lands around. They're not really often used, as you imagine, fighting on a wall with undead, like usually the solution, but you had a good thought, and someone else had a good thought, so you put it together. They are going to switch over and attempt. You would prefer one of the small ones, yes?
Yes.
Awesome. They're going to attempt to hit with this. With a natural 20, I don't think they're going to struggle. As you can see, them using this circular crank to turn the axle of this ballista round, and it slowly points down onto one of the undead eldritch boiling creatures. It looses across with this sort of incredible echoing thump from the ballista, and sort of just before, for a second, the three of you are maybe like, oh no, they're just going to kill them, and then you see the arrowhead burst open and become these sort of four open, wide nets that sort of taut, and then once they've finished fully tightening open to catch whatever it is they're trying to catch, you see the electric begin to sort of wrap around each individual part of the net, sending out these sort of signals as it wraps around.
Oh joy, it works.
It certainly does. Let's see if it can hold it. You can see that that's their turn, but they immediately start going to reload and place another one on. The other three creatures are going to attempt. I think one of them's going to go for... Oh, Moira, please roll Guardians first, actually.
And just a little reminder, two of them have been roundly thumped with my thunder gauntlets and must attack me or be at disadvantage.
Yeah, I've got those two that with markers on from last session.
Bring it on.
You're muted if that's affecting you. Oh, no, I'm getting a shush.
Yes, I know. 18 points of radiant damage.
18?
18, yes.
Nice.
Again, you feel like this is doing a lot more damage than you're used to. But it is now its turn, and it is going to attempt to return the favor. As it blasts, it's going to shuffle its way towards you, Moira, and attempt to slam its fists that are sort of crackling with this unfamiliar energy.
Oh, thank you.
19,
think if I remember, I've used my reaction.
20, wait,
Yeah, yes.
25 to hit.
Yes,
Ooh.
that does hit. Ow.
Oh,
That doesn't sound good.
21
Oh.
bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Close to max.
Okay.
Rolled very well.
Okay. Ow. Let me roll to see if I can keep this up. Yes, I can.
Very good.
Still going.
But that is the end of its turn. Another spirit guardian, please, Moira. In fact,
Sure.
why don't you do the next two, as the two are right next to each other?
Okay. Let me do math. 19 for the first one.
Oh, massive.
And not quite as good. 14 for the second.
Two huge hits. Well, I think this one is going to try and come at you as well. Moira, as you're sort of centralized and just the biggest thing right now, bar Xerius, but we're coming to Xerius in a second. But that is only a 14 to hit.
Misses.
As it slams you've sort of learned your lesson from that first attack, and you just sort of, I imagine, almost just slide to one side and let it slam into the ground next to you. It is the final one, the huge, ginormous undead that's left, and it is going to bear down onto Xerius at this point, as you're the only other one that's sort of right in the fight currently.
Mhm.
With a 18 to hit.
No.
No.
Does not circumvent my shield.
Hey, Mike, it's still slowed, so it only gets the one attack.
Course. Oh, no, but this is the one that it didn't get out of the... Because there
It
was
was
one
one of
that
the,
wasn't
it was one of the
affected.
small ones that didn't get affected.
I was under the impression it was the one that was the furthest away, but that's okay.
So was the monster who's like, hey.
Does
fair.
anyone else? I thought it was like the two big ones and four of the small ones. But does anyone else remember
I think
otherwise?
that sounds familiar as well, but I think
Yeah.
why I've noted it may be wrong. So that's all good.
Editors, don't put the clip in. This is a battle. We don't need it. Yeah, no, the big one's really weak now and has a cold and I missed lunch. It's really
Just really
sad.
sluggish today.
Nora, you're up.
Oh wow. Okay. So please remind me. Have we taken any of them out yet? Are they all just looking a bit poorly?
You've taken one of the huge ones out.
Yeah, okay.
You've got two that Xerius has beaten down, and then you've got one that's now in the net that is grappled, and you've got three that are looking relatively rough, not quite as in comparison to the other two. Out of those three, one of them is one of the huge ones as well.
Okay. The one that's in the net, does it look like it's grappled, but it's not incapacitated, so it could fight its way out of the net?
Yes.
But it's going to take a turn doing that. So I think I would like to target the one that looks the least damaged, on the logic of let's take out the ones that are the most damaged and then there's less to hit. Moira, I would like to target
the huge one that's bearing down on Xerius.
Great. Okay. And I'm gonna. So this doesn't require concentration. This is a class ability, not a spell. I'm gonna use momentary stasis on that one. So they're all slowed, but then that one. Can it please make me a con saving throw?
Constitution saving, bro.
DC 17.
Hope they're not very conny.
That's a dirty 20.
Yeah, but
Ooh.
actually, I'm going to use my reaction to chronal shift that. Can it try again, please?
Oh, better. That's a 22.
Boo! That's not what I was after.
You
Very
turned time
conny.
the wrong way.
I do apologize.
Oh no, it
Okay.
has had lunch.
Oh no.
You were supposed to skip leg day, not include it.
Oh wait. Oh no, Constitution, not Dex save. Never mind. In that case, I'll whiffed it. End of my turn. I'm gonna stay hiding.
Yeah, are you going for the +5 or total cover in the Arcanum? Do you want to still be able to sort of see what's going on, or do you want to be in total?
I'm gonna still be able to see what's going on a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so you just keep a +5 to your AC while you're in
Okay.
full cover. Amaryllis,
Hello. Okay.
you are still inside of the Arcanum as well, if I remember rightly.
Yes, I've kind of like suddenly Nora's not quite pushed me out of the way to get back in. But I'm just like, okay. She's like,
Excuse me.
see, very polite. Just shoving me, and I just slide across the floor. I'm like, off I go. Okay. So the one that's in the net, we've said, still conscious.
Yeah,
And
it's writhing around.
Yeah.
It doesn't look comfortable. I'll give you that much. And it's struggling, but it certainly is trying to get out.
And the lightning was when it hit. It's not, the net's not electric at the moment. It's
So the net is. So you out of game. I guess. Or why don't you make an Arcana check?
yes, please.
Free for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very giving.
as a little gift. That's 18.
18. You imagine that it would be part of. It's like a concert. It'd be part of trying to escape.
Right.
It's going to have to fight against the net and the lightning that's trying to almost shush it to unconsciousness.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Shoot her. Okay. That's not a problem now. That's I also I feel if it gets out of the net, there's enough of us to be like, no, get back in. So also I don't want to make either or Jenna or the doctor angry by going, oh, I blew up the specimen. Sorry guys, but I will try and blow up the other ones. Sorry, Mike. We're going to keep asking. So what's on the battlefield? We've got a big one which didn't miss leg day. And then how many little ones on there left?
You have 1, 2, 3, 4 loose little ones, or as little goes compared to the big ones, and you've got one little one that's wrapped up, and then you've got unmissing leg day zombie. Or roided zombie.
Sorry, let's use the correct terminology. Roided zombie.
Strong.
To be fair, I'm very small, so everything's just big to me. I'm like, oh no, big uns. I think I'm going to cast Scorching Ray at 2nd level, so that gives me 4, and I'm going to go for the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll roll all 4, and then we'll see where we go from. Okay, we begin with a 16.
Yep.
That's a hit. 27.
Yep.
That's a hit. 16 again.
Hit.
And a 21.
Hit all 4.
Hooray! Well done, Amaryllis. I don't think you're a buffoon who caused the destruction of so many lovely things. Okay, so that's a 7. That's a 10. That's a 10, and that is a 3. So 7 for 1, 10, 10, 3.
I mean, those first 2 that you've sort of smash with this spell, real. Like, they look incredibly rough from this hit. The other 2 seem to shake them off a little bit more, but they don't seem to be too impressed. How do you want your Scorching Rays to sort of look?
I think because, like I did previously, where I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is fire magic. Ignore the purple. Ignore the slight sort of smell of decay. Fire. Yes, absolutely. I'm a pyromancer.
gets like a slightly raised eyebrow from Nora, I think. Like she's like, that is some strange looking fire. But actually what she's gonna do is turn to Thalia and say, you should pay attention. That is how you deal damage to multiple opponents without endangering your allies.
Amaryllis
You
quietly
just get
goes.
very like.
You hear a very soft, "Oh shit!" from Amaryllis.
If you can cast Fireball, you can cast that. Spend time with Amaryllis afterwards if it's not in your spellbook and learn it.
I just kind of look at Thalia and go, I didn't know there was going to be homework. To be fair, I spend a lot of time with her anyway in the Arcanum, so I think it's just, the annoyingness. Like, well, so the doctor told us to do this, so let's do our homework together. You got any spells? Don't want that one. Don't want that one. Don't want... That sounds horrible.
Bless.
Any bonus actions or movement?
I am staying in the Arcanum again. Staying almost like, I think if we're in the doorway, I'm on the other side of the door from Nora. I don't, folks. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at all my bonus actions, so it's all like, when you have your zombies, you can. I'm like, no, I don't. Weird. A pyromancer dealing with zombies. No. No, I don't think. I don't. God. Sorry, I'm looking at the hex blood things where there's some really hideous stuff. Like, you could do it with your bonus action. Go on, rip out one of your teeth. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it, game. You can't make me. Horrid. No bonus actions for me. Thank you.
Very good. Moira.
Cool. So I'm just going to use my whip to just flash at like the weakest zombie around me. I need to get some of these off me.
Yeah. You've got two very weak ones and some more that are a little less sort of. They don't look as squishy right now.
Yeah, I'll take one of the super weak ones. Yeah, it's like the more that go down, the more stop hitting me.
I mean, you did center yourself right in the middle of them.
I know, because I can take it, but I don't wanna. Okay, that is I can do math. 25 to hit.
That certainly hits.
Cool. So that is a 13 points of slashing damage. No, because I do extra damage, so that extra d8 damage against undead.
It's dead. It's
Yeah. Fantastic. Then I am going to heal myself, because if I get hit big twice, maybe 3 times, I am gone, because I'm already at half health.
You're looking fairly.
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of blood. This is time. Some of it is my own. The eyes are flaring red.
Oh no, your snack.
I'm not looking great.
You broke my juice
Not
box.
feeling happy, but 4, 7, 8, so 8 points of healing. No, wait, I can do math. Plus 4. 12 points of healing to me.
Nice little top up.
Yeah, oh, that's very good. And then I'm just gonna move myself so my spirit guardians don't accidentally hit the specimen. And I just want to insight what the heck is up with these fucking zombies.
You are welcome to make a Arcana or Religion.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
they're actually both the same for me. Give me a dice. This one.
What's up with these zombies?
Dirty 20.
A
What
dirty
the fuck
20.
is these fucking zombies?
So, in a sense, you wouldn't potentially have like the magical theory to sort of bend to a conclusion. So it's more like what's going on in front of you, and it's more like logical inference that you're sort of going from with informed information around you. And it all comes back to the fact that the necrotic undead have morphed in some form with the eldritch energy of the portal. As far as you know, that's not really a combination that one is supposed to go together, or two has ever really been seen to go together. Not in a very long time, anyway. But that's not information you sort of certainly don't have. But there's a morphing going on between them that seems to be powering them up. But with such a high roll, you can see that the buildup of the eldritch energy is getting higher. Maybe one would say each round, the energy is building.
Dislike.
I mean, that's 6 seconds. That's very quick. Just...
It's very subtle. It is now.
Cool.
One of...
I will, talking for action, I'll yell that to whoever can hear me. Definitely Darius. Anyone else is around is going, yeah, the Eldritch is mixed up with, they're getting more eldritchy as it goes on.
It is now one of these creatures turns. You can see like its shoulders bulging, and almost like under the skin you can see where like the energy is crackling and popping and almost making the muscles bulge more as it pops and changes. It almost looks like they're sort of turning slowly into these particularly large creatures. The ones that, one of them you've already taken down, but the other one that's building up. But as it builds up, do you want to see if you can put it down, Moira, with your guardians?
Guardians.
15.
15. As it builds up and it turns and it sort of like snarls towards you, Moira, it tries to sort of grapple you and like shake you, but as it puts its arms around, about to take your shoulders, it just falls to pieces in dust as your guardian rips it apart, almost like it's intentionally protecting you from this.
In my mind, I like to think that the guardian that is Arcana just holds up a little penguin and then takes away.
It is now Thalia Frost's turn, and with that very friendly, polite warning to not do that again, she is going to run back inside of the Arcanum and basically go. There's like a vase, but it has multiple different staffs poking out, and she grabs another staff and she runs over and she points it over to Moira directly and casts healing word.
It's like, stop pointing things at me. No.
No one tells me what to do.
I quit.
And you receive 13 points of healing.
Ooh, I like that.
And Thalia like almost like immediately looks towards Nora like for like approval.
She's not paying attention. She's kind of like internally sort of swearing at herself that the temporary stasis didn't work, and she's sort of trying to like from the distance like peer at the one in the net. She's not paying attention.
I slightly lean around Nora on the other side and just like, yeah. I like her. We're friends as far as I'm concerned. I'm like, yeah.
And then backs off back into the room. We now have Xerius.
Already. So, with my bonus action now freed up, having activated the Radiance, I am free to start pumping some smites into it. So the gauntlet that is mainly used for punching is going to start crackling with a... I think I'm going to stick to... no, you know what? Sod it. I'm going to use a level 2. Level 2 Searing Smite. So... I'll read all that in a sec. I will try and hit it first. Stop rolling, please. That's cocked. It would have been better on the cocked number. Well, I mean, it's a 19.
19 definitely hits. Are you going for the big one that's left? Or are you going for the other two that are left on the board, the small ones?
I'm trying to reduce the number rather than the quality. So, yeah, I'm going to try and take out the injured ones.
Yeah,
they're
so
still
you've
some.
got two left that are injured. The other two that you originally started with, Moira has just ripped to pieces.
Sweet. So yeah, D8 plus 6 plus Searing Smite. I should probably read it now. Deals an extra D6 fire damage to the target and causes it to ignite. I rolls very low. Very. I rolled lower on the D8 than the D6. Oh well, that's 9 points, of which 2 are fire. So 7 thunder, 2 fire. Oh, hang on. 2d6 because of the smite at second level. That is 3 points of fire and 7 for a 10 total. I rolled 2 1s and a 2 on my dice.
Boo. Boo dice.
Boo dice.
But on the at the start of its turn, it has to take a Constitution save, and if it fails, then it takes more fire damage because it is a flame.
There's a flame.
And also because I've punched it with the Thunder Gauntlets, it can't attack anyone apart from me. I'm going to try and hit the other one so that I'm immobilizing more or forcing more of them to hit me instead of Talia. Nope, that's a 11.
And 11 hits.
11 hits. I don't think you can allow this because that was a natural 1.
It's in combat though, right?
There could be repercussions.
Well, a crit fail in combat is not great.
Do I roll the damage? Do I punch it? But just
Well, yeah, because you still technically hit it. With a nat 1.
Wild.
Oh, I think roll the damage, and whilst you do that, I shall think of your punishment.
yeah, that's fair. I did as much damage on 1 dice. Well, I did 7. Oh wait, no, plus stuff. 13 total. This is why I do it on Beyond, because my old brain.
Well, your punishment has been rescinded as you killed it.
Yeah.
So...
I love it when I get a
it a
message
good
like that. No punishment, death.
That is the truest way I've ever seen someone get out of an nat 1. So
I bury my fist inside its face, and for a brief moment, it looks like it's reaching out to grab me, and then it just falls apart.
It's just like,
Yuck. I think that's it. Bonus 2 actions. I assume I'm still next to some, so I'll move in closer to them if not. Actually, I'm going to try and shuffle closer to Moira so that the ones that are maybe targeting them will maybe think about hitting me instead.
yeah. So you've got one that's focused on you. There's only 2 left that are mobile currently.
Yeah, I'd like the other one to think I'm a bigger threat as well.
We'll see what we can do. It is now the soldier's turn. The ballista gets cranked over once again, and they're going to try to double up to keep this thing secured. So
Double bag it.
But it is at disadvantage now because the undead creature is prone.
That was prone, not something slightly more offensive.
Yes. And that does hit still. As a second one, not electrified this time, bursts out of the ballista and throws itself all over the grappled creature. you think it's going to struggle to get out of itself at this point. The one small one that's free that's left is going to attempt to attack you, Xerius, but it is not looking very put together anymore. And with a 7 to hit, I don't think
It's the start of its turn, right?
Oh yes, let's see if it even do it.
Doesn't even get there.
Yeah, even
And
worse
I
put
think-
together.
Is
All I'm
this the
gonna
one that's
say
on
is
fire as well?
If you roll more than a 3, we do not need to continue.
Cool, 16.
It is dead.
And still aflame.
Yeah. It goes, as it's a flame, it goes towards you, Xerius, to try and just smash. And as it's sort of burning itself apart, Moira's guardian just comes through and almost just like pokes it, and it just scatters into radiant dust.
Buzzes up and like,
Yeah. It is now the big one's turn. It does seem now that with your roll from before, Amaryllis and Talia, Moira, I do apologize.
Talia is also here.
Talia is also here. You do notice that the eldritch crackling energy does seem to be at this point knitting this undead creature back together. It certainly looks healthier than it did before. But, Moira, would you like to tell us whether it's going to go back to looking not so good?
16.
16 again. You also noticed, Moira, that your damage seems to do the correct amount you'd expect.
Interesting.
Tougher.
mm-hmm.
It is going to... It's not happy about a certain group hiding inside of a building.
Pay no attention to the wizards in the town.
So, I've left it up to the roll of the dice to decide whether it's going to focus on Xerius like intended, or if it's going to move across. And it has decided you are both welcome to make opportunity attacks if you wish. It is going to attempt to blast through the wall of the building that you are currently in.
Again.
Will 100% try and thwack it.
Mm-hmm.
18.
18 hits.
That is
Sweet.
cocked. That is... I can do math. 22.
Yep.
And that's 9 points of damage from me. Thunder if it makes a difference.
Yeah, 11.
An 11.
Yeah.
It didn't like that. Between the Guardians and you two, that really hurt it, but it's committed to its task now, so it's going to...
I will also point out, because I've hit it with my Thunder Gauntlets,
I guess that would
it
be
now has
good.
disadvantage to hit anything other than me.
I shall re-roll.
And its speed is halved. I don't know if how far away from the tower it was.
It's got 40, so we'll have a little check.
I like this logic as the wizards are just having a moment of going, oh no. Like, logically, this is better than it could be. Also, massive teeth.
With 20 feet of movement, it would take another round. So it will use its action.
Well done, team.
It will use its action to dash, as that's the only thing it can do. So it will make it to the wall of the building as it sort of grabs its hands on the walls of the Arcanum. You can, one of its thumbs and fingers, like, pushes through on the door frame as it is almost attempting at this point, if it survives this round, to pull the wall apart to get in to the building where you are. But, as if perfect timing, Dr. Duronni, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I don't have any single target big spells. Not attack spells anyway. How charismatic does this zombie look?
The fact that it's like boiling itself apart with eldritch energy and also is an undead creature. That's the answer I'll give you.
Yeah. Okay. We'll try it. We'll see. I'm gonna drop slow, and she's gonna pull another strip of paper out of the gauntlet, and it spins kind of like the clock, the watch before, but it becomes more of a portal. And I'm gonna try banishing it. So could it please make me a charisma saving throw? Because also I kind of want to see where it goes, or if I get any sense of where it would go.
That is an 18 on the dice. But I do believe it is a 17. So that would make 18... 15.
Ha! 15 fails.
So technically I don't think this creature could actually meet your DC.
Right. The DC is only 17.
Yep.
Only, but yeah.
Oh.
Even with a natural 20.
Okay. Okay, so if it's native to the material plane, it goes to a harmless demiplane and is incapacitated. If it's from a different plane of existence, then it's banished with a faint popping noise, returning to its home plane. So I'm wondering if the eldritch energy that's transformed it is going to separate, right? Or whether the eldritch energy has transformed it enough to the eldritch energy goes home. What happens, Mike?
To your horror, I feel like Sean's little showing of the hands is very to
For
your
podcast
horror,
listeners,
and most
right.
likely everybody else. I'm picturing both Nora, Amaryllis, and Thalia inside of this building, just like, your eyes slowly getting wider and wider as you realize, Nora, what's about to happen as it slowly begins to rip into two down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the two parts dissipate into two different places.
Interesting. So they've not fully combined then. That's something new to know, at least.
That is everything. I will go through the list once again. If there's any bonus actions, there is nothing left of violent nature currently that could endanger you, bar the one that is currently doubled up in a load of lightning netting. But I will just pop through the list once more to see if there's anything you'd like to do to... in fact, actually, no, we can take ourselves out of initiative at this point. If there's anything else you'd like to do to secure this creature, then you're welcome to do so. But
so checking that we got the confirmation that even the zombie is not native to this plane then. The zombie half of it went through
would you
planes.
like to give me an Arcana check to see if you could follow, or unless the spell tells you where they're from?
It's basically if... it doesn't say specifically, but it's if it's native to this plane, it goes to a harmless demiplane, and then at the end of a minute, when my concentration drops, it pops back. So we'd have to keep fighting it. But if it's from a different plane of existence, you hear a pop and it's gone forever.
So I'll give you two answers. Yes, it went to a harmless demiplane, and you also heard a pop. And two, you don't think, even if it did come back, what would come back would be any harm to you.
Just a puddle of goo.
That is the first time I've seen that spell used as a centrifuge.
I'm pleased it worked in the way that I thought it might. Good. Okay. Well, we'll bear that in mind if they get through anymore. Speaking of which, the point is that they got through the shield in the first place, which is also an issue. I'll add it to the list. In terms of nothing violent, would go over and investigate the one that's been trapped more, unless anyone else had anything to do.
You can hear the echoes of horns going off, like giving a shout of all clear. If you'd like to listen to more detail about what people are shouting out about, you're welcome to, but it's more just sort of busy noise going on as you can hear soldiers and different people running around, sorting things out, reorganizing. A call to arms onto the wall has returned at this point as well, because after the sort of large horde battle that you'd had, the main force will have come off the walls at this point to rest, return to shifts, maybe go out and get some fresh air outside of the caves, because the gates would have been opened up again. Since something got through, the walls will have been closed and everybody in would have returned back to the walls. So there's quite a lot of rushing around, people moving, stuff like that. So it's up to you how much you want to take in of that, or if you want to just return to task.
I will probably take it in because I assume Udendra is gonna put me off on something else and just like.
Do you want to make a perception check and just see sort of what you're picking out?
Would pouring water on the situation help? So perception is a 17.
A 17. It certainly doesn't sound like there's anything else currently attacking the wall. And you would know from the bleeps of the horns, it is a all clear. But the other thing that is of note is you can hear a lot of the veteran soldiers that have been here for a very long time, saying that's the first time anything has breached the walls.
Concerning. Then sort of looking down at the specimen, and then looking. Okay, that's that. I think that's a problem for later. But yeah, I'll also. I assume we're all now going to look at the specimen. It's just like poke it slightly. No, that's me not getting too close to the net because I assume it's still sparking.
Yes, but for the sake of creative control, I'd say Xerius would know how to activate and deactivate it.
I do have shocking grasp, so perhaps I'm kind of using that to just keep administering shocks to it.
Yeah. At this point, it has been brought to a relative hold. You can still see the body is boiling and it is building up. And the same thing you noticed about the very large one is, one, it's getting bigger, and two, you can see, although it's underneath this netting, its wounds are knitting back together.
I'm going to try and, it only lasts 6 seconds because it only lasts until my next turn. But to at least delay that a little bit while we're trying to have an initial look at it, I'm going to try and use momentary stasis on this creature as well. Could it make a con saving throw, please?
I'm going to throw in a Bane at it if I can, just to make sure that it hits that.
Okay, Bane would make -4 for that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, minus a d4.
Minus a d4, yeah.
We have to fail a save for Bane first.
Charisma saving throw.
That's a 12. And that's a fail with a 7.
To buy us some time, on the assumption that things have gone quiet for now, so we might have time to have a little rest. I'm going to throw all 4 of my remaining momentary stasis at it. So if you want to roll another 3 to see whether we get it for the full 24 seconds.
Pasty 24 seconds.
Bases.
And that way you don't have to keep doing lightning damage on it.
That's all with Bane saving the day. That's all fails.
Cool. So as long as it doesn't take damage, we've got it locked, incapacitated for 24 seconds. I think on the way over as she's going and doing this, she'll have said to Moira and Xerius, "Thank you for keeping us safe. Are you all right, to Moira?"
Yeah, just need to... Hey, those things hit a lot harder than I thought they would.
Fortunately, you make an excellent meat shield.
I'm sure that's said with love.
Oh yeah, sorry, that was a joke.
Thanks. That's what I'm for. And you guys just doing all of the spell sniping was... Apart from Dahlia, who hit me with a fucking fireball.
Yes, I've had words.
Thank you.
Listen, Thalia, you're doing great. Just
Thalia's not left the Arcanum.
I'm scared of her too. It's good.
In fact, she pops her head out slightly and locks eyes with Amaris, and she's like, "Tell her it was me that healed her as well."
Will do.
And then pops back in.
Thalia would like to point out that she did then heal you, and she's very apologetic.
Noted.
Again, the pivot back and the double thumbs up.
She's like,
God, nerds. Two nerds.
Would you like a little bit of a top up so that you're not just burning through your own resources? I heal you a little bit myself.
Take it. Yeah. If you're offering, I'll take it.
Xerius will kind of proffer a hand, and I'm gonna go second level again. Actually, you know what? Treat yourself. I'm gonna go third. Yes, cure wounds. So kind of offers the hand. The thinking is that it's like a defibrillation. But actually, I suppose it's more like one of those joke shock hand buzzers that just kind of gives you a burst of adrenaline and healing power to the tune of 22.
Okay. I was nowhere near that level, so yes. I will take it.
I've been rolling very low on my little dice, so I thought I'd just be safe.
Yeah, no.
I also feel bad because I took nothing that time, so.
That's fine. Your job is like the individual punching, so I can kind of concentrate on the groups. That's how it works.
So I can certainly keep down one or two or three if it tries to run away, but I don't know mechanically how that really works.
You believe really, really hard.
I also punch them really, really hard.
Punch them really hard.
Good strategy. Just looking. So I assume this one's going to just keep getting bigger and bigger once it's out of the time lock. Is it?
I was going to say, like, what? As soon as she said, like, fortunately, you make a good meat shield, Nora's been off and like looking at the creature while all of that has been going on. What do I do? DM, how do I science?
Can I touch it?
How do you beep bop beep beep?
Let me science.
I kind of assumed a lot of that happened afterwards because half a minute is not going to.
It's not very long. No.
It's up to you whether you want to use practical research, i.e., taking, popping back into the Arcanum, grabbing vials, grabbing solutions, cutting off pieces of its skin, things like that. That would be investigation. Or if you want to use the knowledge of things that you could have potentially read, whether that was from your time at school, your time in the research center, things that you could potentially think of that would have to do with necrosis, undead, zombification, plus the less researched side of eldritch power. Certainly, as you would be familiar, what you know is influencing this is negative power. So it's up to you whether you want to do a more of a thinking experiment or an actual hands-on experiment.
We can do a thought experiment later when it's not here. So I think we'll have said to Amaryllis, ask Thalia to bring some test tubes.
Scuttle. Amaryllis has a habit of running even when it's like scientific.
Could have cast message.
Yeah. Is already.
You have 24 seconds.
Dashes. Test tubes. Just swipes and like almost like a little scientific investigation kit. It just feels like.
Yeah, Thalia brings up like because this Arcanum is more of like a a put together thing. A lot of the equipment is in like chests or cases. So you like open a case and this would have vials set into foam, or the equivalent of what foam would be. Everything's set safely, so it's easy to transport, i.e. in emergency or abandoned ship. Sort of everything's ready to go. So Thalia grabs a couple of boxes, throws you like a rack with loads of vials on and a load of bottles of different like acidic and alkaline solutions to place sort of samples in, things like that. And she comes running out with you, and you can just see these two little halfling and Amaryllis just sort of running across to sort of bring you these bags of equipment.
Cool. So my intentions are to now that it's still and we're not trying to fight for our lives, take a proper look at it and make sure it's not just something I know that I've heard of. So maybe I'll do a history check or something like that, unless there's something else anyone else wants to do. And then at the end of the 24 seconds, I'll take a couple of samples, because obviously that would be damaging it. And then would probably want to banish it afterwards. But would sort of, whilst Thalia is grabbing all of the other stuff, will shout over to Amaryllis as well. Actually, no, I'm going to make an insight check on Amaryllis first.
Would it be reasonable for Xerius to be helping in some way as well? Like, obviously, like trying to give some scientific knowledge and give you advantage.
Bros.
Between just due to the party, but between Xerius's tech and understanding, Nora's research skills and understanding, Amaryllis's intelligence, Moira's sort of undead knowledge, plus Thalia being there, advantage is fine, but you can have a D4 as well, just because you're surrounded in a place where you have all of the supposed or close to experts you could possibly have in this bar. The new introduction of Eldritch Energy, they are the experts in what this is. You notice that two soldiers run over to the forge and they brush off a wooden table. They bring the wooden table over and basically like look at you, ready to sort of lift the body onto the table for you. And basically like insinuate they gather a load of logs and stuff like that. And one of the soldiers goes, "We can build a fire underneath it if you want us to, and just tell us when to light it, and we can get rid of the undead as quickly as possible."
I suppose so. That will save me the magical energy. You're not concerned about the smell?
Artisan Nora, I don't know if you've smelt the wall anytime recently, but that's not a problem.
Just give the wall a little sniff.
Lick it while you're there.
The usual recommendation, Doctor, is to burn all remnants.
Fair enough, then I'll leave that in your hands.
I was going to say, I want to go and offer Nora one of my vials of holy water, because I know how undead works and reacts to that, so the Eldritch might do something else once we've taken samples.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Very good.
Just off what I'd rolled before, I rolled an insight of 11 on Amaryllis, so I'm assuming your attempts to hide your necrotic stuff is higher than that?
I mean, I'm going to roll deception with disadvantage because she's not making...
I know you've been flavouring it with like, oh, my fire magic is tinged with this, but I only rolled an 11, so...
I mean, I got a 6.
Okay, great.
And also, I think with that, she's talking to it in deep speech. Just so like as she's preparing, and you just hear which, if anyone understands, it's just going, you're a weird little thing, aren't you? Where did you come from? Well, obviously the portal, and then and then looks and is like, I prepared the scalpels for you, Doctor. It's all clean and ready.
What else do you know?
About scalpels? Well, you do have to keep them
about
clean.
The creature, and I don't mean this in a gotcha way. I mean this in a, come on, let's do science, you have knowledge, use it. What do you know?
I'm going to roll history. 12. I mean, obviously, okay. Outside of the Eldritch, it's undead. There's been undead here for hundreds of years. Okay. I have an understanding with not these undead, which was a problem, but I mean, I can try and do extra experiments, but last time I tried to help, it went bad, and there was a bone golem. Just gestures as if something getting bigger and bigger. The other two were there and saw the bone golem basically pick up Amaryllis and try to eat her. Where everyone was like, no, stop. I'm not a problem. Promise.
I didn't say that you were. What seems to be a problem is that you have a gift that you are hiding.
It doesn't work with these ones. It makes
That's
things...
good to know.
Well, no, usually I can control relatively, but these ones go... I mean, there's feral undead, and then there's just...
And have you investigated why?
I got told to stop politely, but not too politely. I mean, Thorgrim kind of threatened to throw me to them and let nature solve itself, but
Well, now's your chance to investigate with a group of people looking out for you. Have a look.
Serious. That's a really interesting conversation. Because immediately in your head you go, yeah, someone really should go in there and investigate. But that seems like a really strange sentence to you. It always gives you like a mini headache. And then you think, how did I get sick?
Meanwhile, we'll have been taking, probably at the end of the 24 seconds, so I've been starting to take.
Would you like to make investigation checks at advantage with the D4? I'd like you to make me free, please.
3. Where's my D4? There it is. Okay. Okay, so that's not great. First one, 8, 9, 10 is 19.
Very good.
Give you
Second
extra
one.
guidance if you want it.
Sorry?
Give you an extra guidance if you want it.
Well, yeah, sure. I take it. So the 19 would become 22. And then the second one would be 17, 18, 19, 28, 32. And then the third one would be... I mean, that was a poor roll. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, non-nat 20.
Very, very good. So, the first, you could take a couple of vials, you pour, a test neutral solution, acid, alkaline, and then you do the holy water one and a couple of other different ones, and you sort of shake them with corks on, place them to sell. You're incredibly efficient, and it's very obvious that you're very comfortable at taking samples. You're incredibly simple. You pulled the mask immediately from the kits, and you're just like straight to work. Your scalpel skill is like next to none, and you're just incredibly efficient. And it's quite impressive, especially to everybody else around you, as you're just like, boom, boom, next one. Thalia has taken up sitting next to you, and basically as you go, almost like scalpel, tongs, knife, Thalia's just like there, giving you them, taking the samples away, putting them safely.
I just want to reflavor some of that a little bit. Is that yes, she is absolutely precise and clean with everything, but she does look like a little bit squeamish. She mostly deals in like physics,
Yeah.
and this is biology. She don't like that. So
Do what you gotta do.
Are you going to make Thalia do it then? Just
no, I think she is doing it, but there is just a like, I would wish I was doing this theoretically, but she will also be like, without any resistant, like no hesitation, we'll be handing stuff to Amaryllis, we'll be handing stuff to Xirius, we'll be handing stuff to xin'moira as well. Like, and it's not a will you look at this, it's just a well, I assume you can, so go on.
But with those roles, the information that you'd gain is incredibly it's simple but important. The first thing you're noting is notating as you go through the different stages. Each time you take samples, the Eldritch power is at this point seems to be staying the same. But what you notice immediately as you glance over to one of the bodies that's currently being dragged by soldiers into a pit to be burned is all of the Eldritch energy seeping away like wisps and almost returning back to the portal. But they're holding strong here in this sample.
Because this one hasn't been killed yet.
It's changing not just the necrosis nature of the creature. It's, you would imagine on a molecular level, it is changing this creature. It's almost taking advantage of the fact that it doesn't have to screw around with living things. Like there's no living material on this body.
No, like antibodies trying to fight it off, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's got free reign to change to, as far as you can tell, like a molecular level of this creature. Like it is permanently infusing its energy and changing it. But the main point, and that is mainly because of the glance over to see the energy leaving, is it won't sustain the undead. So once the undead is dead, the energy couldn't sustain it past that point. It relies on this undead host. And you imagine, because of where you've just been, that might have a lot to do with negative energy.
Okay.
Mike, obviously, I know there's a lot of lore going around at the moment. A lot of plot relevant stuff. Would we get anything more if I were to cast Identify? And I would burn a spell slot to do it quicker rather than ritual. So it says that I can learn whether any spells are affecting the item, what they are, that sort of thing.
So, I mean, you're welcome to ritually cast it, and it's just another piece of information. It isn't necessarily a spell, and it's influence. I think is sort of the best answer I can give you. Would you make me an Arcana check as well?
I would love to. I'm just going to do it on Beyond because maths. Oh, you let me down, Beyond. 11.
With advantage with everybody around you.
We're spitballing here.
It is only fair.
That's better. That's a 23.
With a 23. After Amaryllis's unintentional mistake, one of the thought experiments you've been doing with name
Thalia?
would be the wizard, actually.
Celine?
Randall House.
Oh, Randall.
That you'd basically put to Randall House was, it is very interesting that Amaryllis couldn't control the undead. And then you realize that the undead, generally to be so forthcoming and intentional with their actions, i.e. not just coming upon the fortress, they are constantly attacking the fortress. Something would have to be giving it that direction. and for something new, like Eldritch negative energy, to be introduced, the thing that's controlling the undead, you would assume would have to almost consent to that influence. Maybe even be the driving force of it.
Would you be spitballing that out loud?
Yeah, I think that Xerius is definitely a serial mumbler. So even if he's not deliberately talking through his thought process, you're getting enough kind of. And the other thing is, he's never wanted to mention it because Amaryllis is kind of doing it. Xerius is also telepathic, so you're probably also getting some snippets of bits that he's not mumbling out loud, just kind of broadcast.
Mental mumbling.
Yeah, mental mumbling.
Just like radio static in the background.
You're getting two halves of a conversation. He's kind of posing some questions, then mentally broadcasting out the answer.
I think like Amaris is like making notes and then adding it, and you're like, okay, that's the quant. Okay, now we solve that, and just. She's also glancing at because they're putting bodies away, and she keeps on glancing, and like it's obvious that she's like, I could experiment. No. I mean, but Nora gave me permission. Yeah, but Nora's not in charge here. But is Nora in charge?
Billy, if you want to play with them, just go play with them.
It's not playing. It's. Would it? I kind of look at Nora, who's probably like, would it be helpful if you saw what happens when I try and control?
Yes, I think actually the crux of what's happening here is the eldritch energy has latched onto something here. There's a reason why it wanted to stay here, and I think the fact that the undead here were uncontrollable by you before and seemed to have a purpose, as you said, Xerius, then I think that might all be connected. You said they seem to be attacking the wall. Do you realize you're mumbling these things? They seem to be attacking the wall with a purpose. If any of them have ever got through, do they seem to focus on... No, you said before, the soldier said before, nothing had ever got through.
No, never.
My question is, if you think that they are being controlled and you think that they are attacking with a purpose, what is that purpose other than eat the living?
It could be worth examining where the strongest concentrations of undead are attacking. We've always been too busy shooting them to actually pay attention to where they're trying to focus their efforts. But if indeed focusing is what they're doing, well, that's a whole different ballgame, isn't it?
That sounds like a conversation to have with Forgrim, right? He was the tactical one. Moira?
I was thinking, because I can be, if I put a little effort into it, can be aware of where all the undead are near me at all times.
That sounds like it might be quite exhausting at this point.
I mean, if I take a while to think, because I've been in a battle before, and where they've been attacking, where they've been trying to go, if I can try and remember that. But also then, if we're going out to find stuff, if it happens again, I can put some effort in. I just need to remember to do it.
I also think we should all have a sleep because, again, the doctor has been entrapped. Again, we all need to have a nap at some point and some food. There's no good in exhausting ourselves. But also, if we do want to experiment on the dead, it's not like there's a lack of specimens. I mean, it's the first time they've got through the shield, but we can... We've killed our specimen on the table, right? Or is it still regenerating?
I think we've pulled bits off it,
but it's regenerating, so it might still be.
It might be worth trying it with this one.
I mean, kind of looking at the other two to be like, okay, she seems like a bad influence, and like, you go on, you experiment, like. Yes, no.
Xerius is doing the Jack Nicholson kind of.
Okay, also.
I mean, I hate them, so just go and see what we learn so we can go kill the rest of these bitches. We might as well.
I think we have everything that we need from this sample, at least. We can theory craft later. I'll prepare banishment just in case it goes wrong.
biscuits as the grimoire like bursts out and like necronam and like, just like as literally just a light, as I cast Animate Dead on the specimen, 3rd level.
You, Amaryllis, as you do this, and this energy sort of permeates you. You swear, you're not entirely sure, but you swear you hear a low, guttural giggle from the book.
Not now, book. I gotta keep some secrets as this person who is terrible at keeping secrets.
So you're trying out raise dead? What spell?
Animate dead. Okay. I like the fact it describes it as a foul mimicry of life. Like, very judgmental spell. Yes, so it's going to be a zombie because it's a corpse. And fun fact, it now has +4 to its attack and also 9 more HP because I'm a necromancer.
What?
I know! I've been so good at keeping it secret.
I would have never guessed.
Turns out it was a pork pie romancer.
I'm going to need you to try and take over. I would like you to make a Arcana check, but alongside it, I need a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, we start with the Arcana. That's a 25, and the Wisdom saving throw is actually I rolled a normal thing. 19.
Very good. You send a signal to flick a finger. The finger flicks. You send a signal to roll the shoulder joint. The shoulder joint rolls. It stopped writhing. It stopped thrashing.
I say in common, you sentient?
You know, it's really annoying when necromancers come and attempt to influence my beings.
I would say sorry, but you've killed quite a lot of really nice people.
That does come, in the job description when you take up against me in this fort, does it not?
Can anyone else hear this?
Yes, the creature is speaking.
Yeah.
But what you know, anybody that's ever seen someone possessed, anything like that, if that's ever in your history as players, it's very obvious that it's something else controlling the mouth, not the thing itself talking.
Okay.
Who are you?
The shadow, the never-ending plague, whatever. Maybe once Umbra.
Sorry, can you say that again? You're a little bit quiet and mumbly there over the internet.
You do a very good job of being spooky, but not so good at conveying information.
Project your voice.
I hit like the volume button on the zombie.
Umbravor.
Umbravor. Ooh.
Can I make a history?
Yes.
UMBRAVORE or just end in R?
UMBRAVORE. Perfect. You were bang on.
Like something that eats umberhulks.
Mm.
Yeah.
Shadow Eater.
I got 15 on Arcana. It's
Um,
not magic thing, is it?
I won't make you roll for no reason. You've
Yeah.
never heard this before. But as you plopped a little 15 Arcana out, yourself and, if I'm right in remembering, Nora has quite a silly passive investigation as well.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Very
Between
me too. I'm in the passive.
Oh, yes,
funny.
you are. that's okay.
24.
Yes, between
19.
Amaryllis, Nora, and Xerius, you do notice that while this conversation is going on between Amaryllis and this newly heard of Umbravor, the eldritch energy is leaving the undead creature and passing to Amaryllis.
Vanish.
On Amaryllis, get out of here!
Back to the Feywild you go.
No, leave. It technically has to make a charisma saving throw.
Yeah. It's Bane. Are you still concentrating?
I will
Yeah.
If it's taken time, I will recast Bane. Basically, anytime I see someone's doing something against a thing, I'm going to go cast Bane to go and give them a bit of a boost.
Also, Amaryllis is very much leaning into this and being like, so power, interesting. Just like, oh, stop it, stop. Don't put your fingers in the electrical socket, Amaryllis, but it's so fun.
Moira does not have a high passive investigation, but she does have a reasonably high passive insight. So she'll see people kind of reacting weird. She's like, nope.
Yeah.
A familiar repeat of the previous attempt at banishment as it begins to rip and slot, and you get the of one side and the disappearance on the other. The more concerning, I guess, thing was the guttural deep laugh as it's ripped to pieces. And you notice that almost like the tentacle-like energy of the eldritch, almost like that was like experimentally touching out, that you saw when you very first arrived, Nora, is just dissipates and gets pulled towards the portal instead of Amaryllis, as you imagine the break that Amaryllis had while attempting to control the undead was broken.
Ow, 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 ow.
So why did we do that? Like with the banished?
Because it was going to try and take over Amaryllis.
That's no problem. You could cave my head in easily. It's happened. I've been possessed. I was a werewolf for a bit once. I'm not that too worried. So, was that useful? I mean, we got a name, and names do indeed have power, as my owl, named after a succubus, lands on my shoulder. So, I think that was practical.
No, I think that's enough to go on for now. I think we need some time to think on this. I have a feeling it feels very like. So there was a play on in Waterdeep one time, and it was about the end of the world, and it wasn't undead zombies like this. It was zombies that were made out of mushrooms, and they it was like the last few, something like that.
Were there sausages in it? Because I lived in Waterdeep for a bit, and some did lots of sausages. Or
yes, it was very weird and anachronistic, and it didn't make sense, but there were sausages in it. Anyway, the last few of us who remain, as the play was called, had zombies in it that weren't the dead risen. It was the mushrooms were piggybacking off the zombies and controlling them. And I think this might be what's happening here, except the zombie is already moving around on its own regular kind of undead. And then the eldritch energy is the mushroom that is piggybacking off it and controlling it.
Tense. I mean, the zombies, they repopulate. You know, if we die, we can come back. And, you know, if you're going to control anything, it might as well be...
I think we have two problems here, though. I think we have the first one, which is the big eldritch portal outside. And then the second one is the problem that you've been facing for however long this wall has been here. Why are the undead attacking this wall? Where are they coming from, and what is telling them to attack?
And I think that is where we'll take the break. leave everybody something to think about.
We'll be food for thought.
Here, have your
nom,
bullet
nom, nom,
points
nom.
for the break.
All four of us just sort of like put up like
Nat aggressively sending notes into chat.
as I try and cast Animate Dead again, and just my hands pushed down. Like no.
We'll just pick you up and just cart you off if you try that again.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We'll take a break there, and we'll see you back in about 5 to 10 minutes. And welcome back. Interesting first half. Bit of fighting, bit of lore dumping. Very interesting. Seeing if some theories have come about after the end of the first half. So, you're currently still surrounding, I guess, what's left of the nets, the table, and the research supplies. Thalia's begun to take all of the samples back into the Arcanum and is like organizing them. And she's sort of like almost in her element in there. But the four of you sort of stood together on the platform of what was one of the siege weapons. And all the soldiers seem to have gone back to their business. You can hear the forge has begun working again now. The all clear, or the tentative all clear, has been called, and everybody's going back to sort of their duties and responsibilities, or back to the pub, or back to their beds to get a well-earned rest. What would you guys like to do?
Pub?
Yeah, pub. Might as well. It's been a big day, and food. Yeah, good idea.
Moira? Nora?
The Oilers.
Nora has been sort of continuing the theory crafting and sort of spitballing.
Are you also mumbling?
Yeah, she's now mumbling to herself. What?
Pub.
Hmm.
Food, drink. Sitting down.
I suppose that is a thing that might help.
You look like you haven't properly rested in many days.
Yes, I'm actually surprised that our GM has been very generous and not forced me to take levels of exhaustion, actually. But yes.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds intense.
I think this time I will concede.
Fine. If it makes it, if the rest of them go, then I'll go. I don't like them.
Pub.
Too many people there, and I just feel awkward all the time.
Why?
Well,
Are they rude to you?
No. I mean, actually, this is possibly one of the nicest the places where people have been the nicest to me. Not pity or disgust or fear. Just looking at Am, really just going,
yeah,
this is just, as long as you do good work, people are quite okay with you. I feel uncomfortable with me.
Oh.
This
Well, I
feels like
like
a conversation that we need an alcoholic beverage to dissect.
I could not agree more.
Amris also very loudly says, I like you! I like all of you!
Yes, I know, dear.
You keep telling me. Yeah, pub.
Like a puppy, you're just like, I like everyone.
Such golden lab energy.
So as you leave and lead Nora to what looks like sort of a natural cove of the sort of cavern wall side, you lead her through into this quite drastically different atmosphere. Instead of the very polished, clean, oddly atmosphere and vibe that you get from the wall itself, when you enter into here, the lighting is all natural firewood instead of lanterns and spotlights. The room is covered in blankets and carpets everywhere to take away that stark feeling of the cavern walls and the cavern floor. Everywhere's littered with tables and chairs. There are comfy chairs that sit in front of the hearths. There are on each of the hearths as well. There are different pots of things boiling. You can also smell from the very far corner this really wholesome, warming food being cooked, like stews and one pots and chilies and anything you can think of that you would associate with comfort, safety. It all seems quite intentional as well in a lot of ways. A simple wooden bar. It's all been kind of put together. They've taken a cavern, little cavern hole, and turned it into this very welcoming place. Behind the bar is this burly dwarf, with a thick, well-groomed beard that nearly reaches his waist. His arms adorned with tattoos of tankards clinking together, really show that this gentleman has a real art for the brewing. You can also see on the back there is this beautiful hanging axe that for the arcane among you, which I believe in some form or other is all of you, does give you off some sort of magical influence. Xerius, you've probably been wanting for many years to get your hands on that axe to have a look at it, but it has a very strict no-touch rule. Garrett Flask, Xerius, you'd be most familiar with, and his wife, Isabella Flask, who's just this really no-nonsense halfling.
I don't know, Mike. Is a Bella Flask?
You hold it upside down.
Very pragmatic and shrewd, and the perfect foil to Garrett's very happy, bubbly personality. Isabella's working away, sort of tidying everything up. A lot of soldiers. This room is packed. As it's very traditional to just go a bit crazy after a big fight. Isabella is currently in the corner telling off a soldier who's got a bottom lip and looking at the floor. And you can see there's 4 tankards that have been spilt over next to him. You walk in and Garrett immediately looks towards Xerius, as he would recognize you the most, with a respectful glance down Marillis and Moira. And
why is Talia still
My brain's
here?
Talia, get away from the wall. You're not magic.
I can try really
I
hard.
think it's apparently canon that Talia's in this fortress.
Oh god, Talia's got the axe!
And then a single eyebrow raises towards Nora as he doesn't recognize you. But it's certainly not a problem for him. He just sort of welcomes you.
Garrett, 4 of the usual, please. And what would everybody else like to drink?
Yeah, I'll also have the usual, again, she doesn't drink, but it's right, yeah. More like a shandy, please. If you got lemonade, that would probably be better.
I'll take a bowl of whatever that delicious smell is, and a brandy.
Right you are. Do you want your usual corner, Xerius?
Oh, if it's going.
I'll get Isabella to kick them off. They're being making a mess anyway. You look across and it's deep into the Sardenstein pub. You can see in the very top left corner, there is this sort of alcove that sits next to one of the fires. So you kind of gain the benefit of the fire without it raging right onto your backs. And this is Xerius' spot. Isabella looks over and they give each other a head nod, and Isabella just takes the guy by the ear and just removes this sort of hardened veteran soldier away from the table. And the rest of them get up and move for you. I'll bring it over for you guys. And welcome.
Could I get some of the warmed red wine? I like the smell.
Oh yeah, do you want it with spices or not?
Sure. I'm just going to smell it anyway.
All right. And I don't think we've met. Welcome to the wall. Have you just arrived?
Yes, I have. Dr. Duronni, pleasure to meet you. You have a very cozy place here.
Aye, well, even the darkest of places need somewhere for respite. And, well, soldiers pay. So, please, welcome. Go get yourself settled.
Speaking of that, Xerius, When I left this plane originally, I was at work and I did not have any gold upon my person, and I've been in a different plane for a long time. I may need to owe you a favor.
It's all right. We'll put this all on my tab.
You're most kind.
I settled it monthly.
Noted.
It's part of the reason I'm still here, still paying it off.
We've
No,
also
seriously.
brought the tankard back from earlier because we know we don't leave the tankards lying around.
Yeah, it's not Garrett you need to worry about.
Oh no.
Well, Garrett, we are worrying about.
No, it's not.
So you go settle at the table. Everything is brought over in surprising speed for how busy the place is. Isabella squeezes Xerius's cheek, or I guess what would be your cheek as a dragonborn, and gives it a little shake and a little smile, and she sort of heads back off, seeming very fond of Xerius.
Nora is just like inhaling the stew that she's been given.
It's
Be quiet for a
perfect. It's
bit.
got like perfectly steamed and then crisped dumplings in it and everything.
I think you'll find that's the finest stew this side of Baldur's Gate.
That's the finest thing I've eaten in the last month, at least. I'm very appreciative.
You'll have to tell us a bit more about some of your travails at some point.
Please do.
Maybe later. I'm eating. You three talk.
Absolutely.
Silence.
What about those sporting events? No, there's no sports here.
Like eyes flick between the three of you, and if there's genuinely no conversation.
I think we spent a lot of our time together, so we've kind of hit that point of being like, we've discussed books we've read. We've discussed, there's.
You are the new thing.
Yeah, to be fair.
You and this event. And we've managed to also spend this much time not prying into our deepest, darkest secrets with each other.
Congratulations, your flavor of the month.
What I can't get my head around is that, Xerius, how long did you say you've been here?
2, maybe going on 3 years.
And this wall has existed for centuries?
Centuries.
And no one in that time has gone to see where the undead are coming from.
I mean, people go look, they just don't come back.
There's a very strict perimeter that we have, through much trial and error, have worked out is the limits of the safe.
You have an
I have-
inquiring mind, Xerius. Have you've never thought to try?
That question really bugs you, and you don't understand why.
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so? You either know or you don't.
Okay, well, going by that very stark interpretation, no, clearly I have not. Still, it's probably nothing.
Insight.
Yeah. Yeah.
This insight everybody at this point.
Inside
Yeah.
thing that I don't know that I don't know.
Yay, let's go. Me, that
20,
is-
23.
Wow.
I'm not looking at my sheet and I can't do math off my head. I think it's a +8 to my insight, and I rolled an 18.
So 26?
26, yes.
I mean, I rolled a 21, but blown out of the water there.
Well, I imagine all three of you. Sean, what do the... I'll let you sort of answer how you think Xerius sort of portrays this frustrating confusion. Because I imagine in some ways it will become a little frustrating, especially when Nora directly asked you something and you have a a knee-jerk reaction because you have an answer, yet you don't have an answer.
Yeah, it's a really difficult one because, like, you can see on his face that he's desperately trying to remember something, and there's something like just at the back of his head, maybe not the very back of his head because there's a massive horn on it, but like somewhere near the middle, there's just like just there, just like this little thing. You know that you've been, but he cannot for the life of himself remember. So yeah, I guess it's just that kind of internal conflict of the answer's yes, but I can only say no. Yeah.
You're looking conflicted. We can see that you're struggling. Just like, okay, well, possibly add that to the list of. I mean, something's obviously very odd going here. We know that. We know. And we also know that there's now a power out there that wants to. Now that's the thing that power. I don't think it's the. I think it's the thing that came through the portal rather than necessarily the. But it might be the dead as well. And if people are looking, again, we've got two forces. Maybe. Maybe we need to talk to other people who have been here longer to see, especially if we're talking about people who haven't necessarily come back, but any data that might be gathered.
I was intending to speak to Adendra after this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I think it helps that, I mean, this is one of the few times, at least that I know of, and I tried to do some prep before I came here, that there are so many talented people who are also kind of technically expendable. You know,
Rude,
if you're good at what you do, you want to keep, you're busy keeping everything here going.
Wait, are you saying that people are being used as fodder?
No, as in, you don't go off on away missions that you can return from if you're busy. I think there may have been. I don't think people have been used as fodder. I think people just, the ones who were more free just weren't as good.
They've been sending the apprentices.
I mean, that sounds like fodder. That sounds like adding, just material, especially if it's for the undead. If you can send things that are going to.
Are you suggesting that we should go?
I mean, between Lily and I, we know both ways ins and out of the dead, and then you three with all of your research, and you with your, knowledge of what's going on with that eldritch stuff.
Mike,
I mean,
just quick clarification on what I can and can't remember.
Mhm.
I remember that I got sick, but I just don't remember how. Or is that memory starting to fade?
No, I
as
think
well?
that's an okay thing. Yeah.
Okay. Carry on. I'll interject when I.
I've got more past questions, and you remember he remembers being well. That is sort of like before, and then is it like haze, and then it's. I also realise this isn't a question that I've asked too. Would have been like, so when did you get sick?
Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
that happen?
Yeah, and
When you're going to die?
this probably would have happened very, very early on in Darius's career. Yeah.
Yeah, so certainly none of the others, I think, would have known him before he got sick. So this isn't something that I've necessarily broadcast about myself. My scales weren't always this dull orange. My lineage certainly is more copper dragon, but my scales have lost the luster. I am unwell.
I'm I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, whatever it was... We've cured the worst of it, so it's not shortening my lifespan, but it has affected me in certain ways. He will telepathically kind of speak to the three of you. Certainly the telepathy is not something I could do prior to the illness. And then back out loud again. I won't demonstrate this, but let's just say that my dragon lineage should normally enable me to deal a certain amount of damage. However, since the illness, I find myself unable to affect them quite as bad. It seems that what I'm breathing out is no better than they are. So, what I'm trying to say is that I have a certain understanding of the plague itself, firsthand.
Could you please remind me, Nat, Copper Dragon elements is usually...
It's either acid or poison, I think. I think it's acid. But I was definitely flavouring it more as a gas, which has kind of become necrotic gas instead of...
So you're saying it's fundamentally changed. I apologize, I'm not a biologist. I don't really understand dragonborn physiology that well, but whatever glands help you produce your breath have changed to more necrotic.
Infected, and it's one of the things that I've found has fundamentally changed.
Since when?
I haven't got the foggiest clue. Long ago.
But you don't remember why?
No. I remember being well. I remember working in Baldur's Gate. I remember leaving, coming here, and then I'm ill.
You got ill when you came here.
I don't recall being ill out of here.
Add that on the list of things to ask, Odendra. Is there anything else that you are struggling to remember? I know that's a strange question to ask.
Would everybody at that point want to make a history check?
Bum bum bum.
21.
10.
15.
16.
But also what Zarius is saying about something is really triggering something in my own brain.
I'm sorry.
No, in an interesting way. Story way.
Plot
Action trigger, not
Not Talia going, oh
No.
no.
Not throw up a pause card.
yeah, not pause card trigger, action trigger.
Talia's magic breath has also been affected.
Not
What, she
Moira's,
needs the axe?
Talia's.
Yes. Who is touching the axe? Stop it, Talia.
Over there in the corner just going, I remember.
I remember everything.
Nora, while talking about this, you remember you mentioned your apprentice. Very briefly with Odendra in a conversation when you first re-met. And you're realizing there are holes in Kimmer. You remember that they were your apprentice, but you don't particularly remember what you achieved together or what they achieved. There's like a hole, and it's quite a particularly obvious one because there's a gap of them becoming your apprentice and you researching and achieving things at the end of it, but the in-between of what you actually did or what they presented to you, totally missing. Amaryllis, you referenced and looked at the book. But you can't remember when you got the book, how you got the book. You know it was your parents, but your parents wouldn't have given you the book.
Amorous, so the book she took, so that is established, and then she destroyed.
Well, you have it. There is only a certain logical.
That she destroyed the book, and now there's a new book. So maybe that isn't okay. Okay, is that what? Even Tom's like, oh god, my memories.
And this is the first time, Moira, as there hasn't been particularly many things that have jumped or jump-started your memory or made you think of other things. But when Xerius started talking about an illness, you're like, hold on, I was ill. But I don't... I know I became ill for a reason, and you can remember being a Dampier, but you don't remember the in-between. You don't remember what the illness was, how it led to you becoming a Dampier, if it is even connected to you becoming a Dampier. There is a whole part of your history missing in your brain. As soon as Xerius mentions that illness word, what normally would lead you to think back, and whether think fondly or negatively back to those memories, they're just not there.
It's gonna go. So I hesitate to jump on, what you've just shared with us, but I know I wasn't always like this. And I got ill again, not a while ago, like a while ago. Like not recent, a while. And then I can't remember. I remember then I was this and changed. I can't remember anything in between.
Okay. I think this is something else.
I try not to think about it too much, so I don't remember forgetting.
It would be interesting to find out whether this might be something affecting us uniquely as a group due to, the singular event that I can think of being our close proximity to the portal. Or is this something that is going to be spreading throughout the camp?
Or has already spread. If it's something as subtle as people forgetting major life events,
Forgetting not to cast Fireball at a group of enemies containing one of your allies.
Perhaps.
This is the problem with paranoia. You can't always tell it away from, incompetence, but as soon as we start pulling at the threads of everything, it's gonna... If you want my honest opinion, I think the fewer people who know, the better. We don't want to cause paranoia. Someone forgets about their, the name of their first girlfriend and everyone starts freaking out that some necromantic or eldritch evil, but bad.
Okay,
bad
well,
stuff.
I think we can at least narrow it down, because I also have gaps in my memory. So, whatever it is that's causing it was not here before I got here. So it must be connected to the eldritch energy in the portal.
No.
I'd like to... I'd like to invite everybody to take a short rest at this moment. And then, please, continue.
Just to check one of my own theories, Nora. Do you have any connection to, or have you had any experience with necromantic energies at any point? Not
intentionally. I Nat, Mike, have not got any of that in Nora's backstory, but is there anything that I should know that you've tinkered with?
I don't believe so. If it wasn't
Okay.
part of your either,
Yep.
even I mean, there would have potentially been modules at your academy, sort of touching on it, but it depends on what you specialised and then where your research took you.
Or the plane before, where you came from?
The plane of Corazon that I was in was very much about an overabundance of positive energy.
I mean, maybe that's as much, because that's the only thing I'm thinking that connect some of us so far is, a change to something with the necromancy. But I don't know.
I feel like I need to go and speak to Adendra. Do we think how... It might be worth checking on the status of the portal as well to see if it's got any other activity, or I think your suggestions before about getting some rest might be a good idea.
Definitely think you should probably, just enjoy having a soft bed for once. I mean, they're not the best, but better than what you say you've been through. I can send a scout. I can send Mal to fly, and I can observe over really long distances as well.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll go with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for a walk.
Does xin'moira just get up?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go. I need some fresh air. I'm going for a walk.
Okay. Meet back at the Arcanum. That seems like a good spot.
Cool.
Okay. Bye.
Could you point me in the direction of Adendra's quarters?
We'll walk that way with you, and then
Thank you.
It's en route.
Yeah.
So you go out, and I imagine, Amaryllis, you sort of collar one of the same department as you, the runners. A lot of them are apprentices or recruits that have just started joining, and they all kind of like see you as their boss.
Oh heavens!
Whether you like that or not, but you see one sort of like jogging past, taking some papers, and you just sort of catch them, and they point to the wall, and quite differently, Dendra stood on the Cavern Guard Tower, currently looking out. You can see the glow still from where you're stood, but obviously you're not on the wall, so you can't see sort of what's going on in the cavern depths. But you can see the glow coming from the portal. But they point up, and you can see sort of like the silhouette of Odendra sort of stood on the wall, arms sort of flat on the wall, and just like looking out.
Maybe tell her to give me a couple of minutes. I've got some messages I need to send.
Sure,
but
we'll go.
I'll wait here.
Scramble up the ladder. I just see in the background, like, very animated, gesturing, and then casting, like, yeah. So, yeah.
We'll start with Nat. Would you like to just do it where you are, or use the key to the marshal's office?
I'll use the key to the office, so I've got a private space.
Yep, you find it without too much issue. It's not far away, and there's plenty of people ushering about that you can collar and just sort of give you a direction.
Cool. I realised I should make sure I've done my arcane recovery. I've played a wizard before. I will recover a 4th level spell slot.
Adventures.
And a first one. Great, and then I will cast. I will recover a 3rd level because I'm about to cast Sending twice. So the first one, she's going to try casting. Oh, flip! when we discussed it before, did we establish that once there was not a current attack, there would like
The WADs,
messages would be
yeah.
able to leave?
Yeah, WADs change, stuff like that.
Yeah, fine. So she'll cast sending to Kimmer. Kimmer, I've made it back. Do you have any updates? I'm in a situation where it would be useful to have your insight. And I, as a player, already know that they will not respond. So she'll take a second, kind of processing that. And then cast Ascending to Tusk.
Hooray!
To Gregarious Tusk.
The
So
shark
for
rider
everybody at
himself.
home, something incredibly beautiful is about to happen.
What
As I was, Nat was very kind and offered me the role, but I so very kindly Una reverse carded straight back to Nat. So everybody sit back and enjoy this.
But this is the thing, because I was like, I should make sure Mike knows what I reckon he's gonna say, and then I didn't have time and I forgot, and now I'm gonna improvise the whole thing, and good, it's fine. She'll cast Sending to Tusk. Tusk, I've made it back. What happened? Why is Kimmer dead? Where are you? And it'll probably be like a little pause. And then she'll eventually get back. Dr. Duronni! Delighted to hear that you're safe. Sorry about the Nexus project. Looks like it's a washout. Good luck with your next endeavors. Catch you around.
So unhelpful.
Didn't answer any question.
And she'll probably break a chair. In fact, well, no, she can't. She's too weak for that, but she'll try.
You can
and
try,
hurt
yeah.
herself.
Just shaking it. Ooh.
Roll, you might get a natural 20.
Yeah.
That's true. Never roll an unarmed strike. Here we go. That's a 6.
That's how we.
You brush a load of papers and stuff off the desk. But you notice the desk's the one with like a sword on, and it's all like martial documents and positionary things and stuff like that. And you realise it's probably Fogrim's.
Oh, right, okay. I was going to say, I think she has a respect for paperwork, like a deep respect for paperwork. And if anyone came into her office and did that, she would be furious. I'm looking at the party of the original Nexus who wrecked her office. So I think I don't think she'd go for a table sweep.
Oh, okay.
I think it would be like gripping onto something and trying to just smash it into the wall.
Instead of smashing a chair, you're kind of just slightly more forcefully putting it back under the table.
Scrape it on the carpet.
Just a little scrape on the floor. Yeah, so she'll just be sitting in rage for a little bit, I think.
Have a little stew. A second stew of the day.
Delicious.
This one's nowhere near as delicious.
Xerius and Amaryllis, you both probably get to the Cavern Guard Tower top at this point. Odendra's sort of stood looking out. She doesn't turn to look at you, she just carries on looking out at the portal.
Okay. We have We've done some experiments. Nora, Dr. Duronni would like to have a word with you shortly. She's just currently sending some messages. How are things? Do I need to do any more running right now?
No, and also, don't forget, Amaryllis, you're not in my direct service anymore. You're your own group. Nobody's in charge of you right now. You are trusted.
Half salute and just like, good. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
While I have you,
Oh,
Zarius
instantly starts blushing. Just Amaryllis blushes very easy and assumes she's in trouble for casting necromancy.
Artisan Potent Worm, and just tell me what you think of this. And you both at this point glance out, and you can see the familiar portal whirling away and building and building. But you can see the wisps are being pulled backwards now. Not necessarily taking apart the portal, but the portal's energy seems to be being sucked backwards, deeper into the cavern. Mm-hmm. The other particularly strange thing you notice is the undead have stopped pushing forwards. Now, there generally is always undead out there, whether they've I'd say probably month or so, they build up into a huge horde to attack, but then through the rest of the month, it's more sporadic incursions of undead that hit the wall. Very much easier to handle. A tower plus a couple of soldiers and some ballista can deal with that without much issue. But what you can see is those incursions that would generally come throughout the days and nights are all just stopped in a line, probably around parallel with the old wall.
Do any of them look like they are have taken in any of the negative energy, or is it all being siphoned backwards, and so it hasn't kind of gotten any of them at this point?
So they no longer look like they are siphoning energy. Mm-hmm. They are exuding it. Like they've all tripled in size at this point, and they're all crackling with the energy, but they're just stood. A very particularly interesting thing is they're almost like they're like twitching, and it's almost like they want to go forwards, but they're being held currently. Odendra sort of stands. I don't know why, but I find the fact that they're not attacking so against what I've become so used to.
Yes, it occurs to me that if we are the fan, they would indeed be the shit.
The doctor had based on a play she saw about fungus controlling the. I think it might be that same thing. Whether if the portal was controlling even their basic movement, to maybe it's not in the best interest of the portal for them to be smashed against our walls. That seems bad. I know that seems not that great, but I'm concerned. In my opinion, that's bad.
I mean, you saw what 7 of them did. How many do you count?
Hundreds.
At least.
And building up quicker. That hypothesis sits soundly. Yet I can't decide on which end the power is being influenced from. I have to admit my shortfall in my understanding of which is more powerful, the undead or eldritch negative energy, from what the reports have said so far from Thalia.
Can I make an insight check? Because I want to say, hey, we talked to someone. I want to know how mad she'll be at me if I tell her that I've been doing necromancy and talk to Umberville.
Absolutely, make an insight check.
18.
18. She's clearly aware. You've read Thalia's reports before and research stuff that you've done together. Same with Zarius. Thalia's very thorough, and she was there the entire time. She listened, and she has written down everything you said, done, and achieved, and brought it to Odendra. Emotionally, she's not mad.
Then, so you probably know what happened earlier. I did an experiment and was able to talk to what I think we can, with an educated guess, say is probably one of the commanders of. I weren't certain if it's let's say the necromancer or whoever came through that portal, but again, the hesitation of saying a name, but then like Umberville was mentioned. Does that ring a bell? Is that?
It's not supposed to.
Oh.
I think you should go speak to Randall House.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should hear the history and not the history that you can pick off from the shelf.
Okay.
Once you're finished, maybe we can speak some. But I'd like, in this case, my limited information is only going to confuse your learned minds. I'd like and much prefer to you to come to me, learned, and then we can clarify.
Okay, I mean, we were going to try and investigate the portal first, but maybe knowing more about what's going on here would be a smart idea. Educated choices. Yeah.
I have a feeling you're going to have an opportunity to get very close, if not go deeper than the portal.
Okay. Right, yeah. Looking at Zarius now, you're looking back at a terrified teenage girl who's really out of her depth. Like, okay, yeah, no. Winnie salutes you as well. Just like, okay, I need someone who seems to be in charge. Yeah, no, we'll go talk to Randall House. Yeah, thank you.
You're looking at a 40-something-year-old lizard who's currently fuming that he's been reading the wrong history books for 2 years.
She's used to academics as well, like how dare. Facts.
Amaryllis.
Yeah?
Do not forget, you're in charge of yourself now.
Eyes flick down to the Grimrar at her side and then just sort of, no.
You may let Nora know when you catch back up with her that I will be in my office.
Yeah. Oh, so we've got to find xin'moira. She's gone for constitutional. Yes. Right. Awkwardly like, yeah. Hand starts going up again. Puts hand down. Let's go talk to Randall House. Yeah.
Moira's actually gone off to go find the head cleric.
So you're looking for Celine?
Celine, yeah.
Yeah. You find Celine currently sort of but just below the wall. So one of the tactics they have when you take heavy casualties is basically a sort of apprentice wizard or cleric who has a magic item or is either capable of casting it themselves will go cast Feather Fall on a injured person and basically throw them off the right side of the wall, and then they land on the safety of the lower ground, and that's where Celine will do their work and just means that Celine doesn't have to be in danger on top of the ball. So you will find just trying to find Celine. Yeah, you'll find her working. She's got like a little sort of tent system on sort of near the walls where she's currently caring for some injured. She seems to be pretty much sorted. It's been a fair while now since the main battle, and it's more just like supervising healing than it is critical care.
Hey, they're doing fine without you. Can I grab you for a bit?
Yeah, everything okay?
Yeah, private convo.
All right. Just for the context, Celine is the head cleric, but she is an Azamar. She's like 6 foot tall, incredibly sort of always shoulders back and very confident, very self-assured, and usually very well armored as well to back that self-assuredness up. Cleric, very kind eyes and face though. What's going on, Moira?
Has anyone come to you missing bits, like memory bits?
I'm glad you gave context because missing bits.
Yes, I know. I was
could
going.
Involve quite a lot. Does it count if they've come out of Garrett's place?
I don't think so.
Right. Okay. We'll take alcohol off the list.
But probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Cool.
Are you having problems with memory? I saw you in we've had conversations about you going off on the wall, by yourself. Did you hit your head?
No.
Okay. Why?
Stuff's been happening that's super fucky. Like more fucky than usual.
You can see her like thinking back. Just going to make a medicine check. Unless you've hit your head or you've had a direct magical spell cast on you, I wouldn't really know. Are you particularly stressed? I mean, you never are bothered by an attack.
They did. They go down easy.
Yes. When's the last time you went outside and had some air?
What day is it?
Wednesday, probably. It's nighttime, so you'd be very comfortable out there.
What week is it?
She gives you a relevant date.
We hate calendars here. None of us know what year it is.
Someone keeps messing with time, Tom.
Oh. But what is it? Anyway, carry on.
Ask me questions. This is really stupid.
Where were you born?
Waterdeep.
What were your vows when you first joined Kalimvor? You don't know the answer.
Fuck. Bloody fucking fuck. Okay, thank you, Celine. Get on. Thank you. Fuck.
Okay. Let me know if you need anything.
I've just gone.
Oh, this poor it's like, so what are your vows? Fuck you!
Then Moira's making some new vows.
The two of you will come into the path of Moira at this point.
I also think Moira sort of hears in her head where she's like, Moira, ping. I'm just casting message and hoping that eventually I'm going to come within range.
Whenever you get an answer, the answer is a string of swear words.
Xerius just sees, as again, Amaryllis goes bright red and is like, oh my, well, I don't quite know how you do that with the donkey, but found her. Just some points of it.
And they're just going to kind of come up to you going, okay, fucking fuck, we've got a fucking bigger situation than I thought we did.
Okay, well, we need to go find the doctor. We're going to go talk to Randall House. Sort of lean in. It's like, it turns out there's secret histories. You know, the sort of thing that don't get put in tomes. That's very intriguing.
That's why they're secret.
Nodding. Almost not quite. I'm still picking up that you're angry. But like, yeah, let's go find the doctor, and then we can.
Are there any like zombies left? I want to kill something.
I mean, as a like a glow, I can make some.
No.
The book vibrates. No, well, again, leaning in even more. I think we might be being sent on a mission afterwards, so I think there's going to be a lot of things for you to hit or to.
I want to find whatever's doing this, and then wring their neck from with their body, and flay them open, and then send them back to the maker that made them.
We can do that, and we will do that. Right? Yeah, violence.
Would you like to hold off, Nora, until Duronni? I'm so terrible with names tonight. Until Adendra arrives, or would you like to exit once you've done what you wanting to do, and catch up with the rest of the party?
The point was I was waiting in the marshal's office for Adendra to come and chat. But while she was heading down, I was going to be doing the sending.
You sort of finish off that last sending. And
no, the table.
As you sort of turn towards like the door, not to leave, but you sort of end up there. From behind you, sat on her chair on her desk, Adendra is sat there with her arms crossed.
We'll just swear multiple times in Elvish. When you're supposed to announce yourself before entering a room that.
Honestly, I got very used to being able to just teleport into my own office. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm really sorry for everything I brought here. Fuck.
I'm not sure it's actually a problem.
What?
Nothing's happened here, or changed, or been achieved. Well, apart from death.
There is a giant portal outside that is using eldritch. There is a creature in there. There is some kind of eldritch consciousness that is taking control of and powering up the zombies that were attacking the wall. How is that not a worse problem than it was before?
Problems encourage change. It also encourages the people who are capable to actually fix something once and for all.
By the gods, I forgot how infuriating you were. Have you lost any memories?
Well, if I'd lost them, one wouldn't know that they were gone, would they?
Do you remember where we met?
That library was rather disgusting, though. There was pages with people messing with them. But yes, no, I know exactly where we met.
Do you remember when you came here?
Yes. 20 years ago.
Do you remember why you've never been to investigate the cause of the zombies in the first place?
We have. Not in a while. Not in the last 3, 4 years. I think was the last incursion that was attempted.
Why? Why was the time right then and has not been since?
Well, written into certain rules that the marshals are expected to follow, it is generally frowned upon to even consider going past what was the old wall.
How does this place run? Who is higher up than you?
The book. The Marshal's directive. The same one that's been passed down since the original heroes.
Who wrote that?
The four. The 4 heroes that originally attempted to oust the plague and delve into the depths to destroy it, yet they failed. The people that supported them built this, and that was the last of it. Do not go down there, you will not survive.
The 4 heroes, did they ever come back?
They died down there.
Can you be sure?
Well, nobody that's attempted to go that deep has ever returned. The last incursion, in fact, Xarius can tell you, went horrifically wrong. Only out of the 30 scouts and artisans that entered, Xarius and maybe 7 returned, all incredibly sick.
Unfortunately convenient that seems to be one of the things that he can't remember at the moment.
I'd like to invite you to go to the library and speak with Randall House. And I think at this point the rules may have to once again be broken. If Umbrivor, this creature of shadow, of mention, has truly done what I fear it has, there might have been no choice but for the entire fortress to march down there.
I just double check, Mike, was that you correcting yourself on the
Yes,
pronouns? Okay. Just checking that wasn't like a clue that Addendum knows more.
No, clarification, it would be classed as an it.
Yeah, cool. Can I get an insight check on Addendra to see if she's telling the truth about not knowing anything, or if I want to get a vibe check on her.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's she holding back?
Yeah. What is the level?
I rolled a 15. I'm just double checking that my inquisitorial stuff doesn't apply to
Inquisitor.
Does it apply to peoples?
I would be willing to give you advantage, as you spent a long time, although it has been a long time since you've seen each other. You did spend a long time together.
I just double checked. My deductive intuition does give me a D4 on insight check, so I've added the 3, so it's an 18. But if you're happy to give me advantage, I will.
Yeah, roll it.
Roll with advantage. That is better. Okay, so 18, 19, 22.
22. She's telling you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Okay.
But she is incredibly worried and very upset by the idea of you going down there. And the only reason why she's not telling you not to is because she can't look like a hypocrite in front of the soldiers. Which is very her. Duty over everything else. But she, yeah. Every part of her wants you to tell her, in a sense, I'm too scared to go, I'm not going. But she knows for a fact you're not going to say that either, so...
There is an internal eye roll.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull the beetle brooch out again. And sort of look at it.
She smiles.
And then look at her. I can't remember why I have this.
Would you like to know?
Do you not find that concerning, though, in the first place? Your reaction there says that it's something of great importance. I should remember why I have this. I used this as a focus to get here, but I can't remember why.
She goes into her inside pocket, and on this beautiful golden chain that's clearly been added, it's not the same sort of style as the actual pocket watch itself. It's like something's been made for it specifically. She takes it out. We swapped. I feel like you were making some kind of point when you gave it to me, but I never quite fully put two and two together.
Do I remember the watch till?
It was an incredibly beautiful moment. Probably the most emotional I've ever been. If you can't remember, especially with your mind, your sharp, incredible, sophisticated mind, there is nobody better to figure out why. And I would love for you to come and speak to me about this story when you remember again. She sort of stands and rises, and she walks over and takes both of your hands and sort of guides you to sit on the desk with her. And like she places your hands in her laps. In her laps. In her lap.
Oh,
So many laps
Centaur.
in this room. You are going to fix this, because you never make a problem without fixing, because, well, I feel like anything that could be used against you in an argument is not something you'd allow to exist. I think I have the right information, but, oh no more, and please don't roll your eyes. I know you will. But although this is a rather dire situation, I do believe you've come here for a reason. I know that's not in logical circles, and it's very rare I even consider them, but you're here for a reason. I haven't put two and two together why. But if anybody's going to fix this problem, it'll be you.
I don't need your prophecy bullshit.
I thought I asked you not to roll your eyes.
Oh, Dendra, I've just found out that the project I was working on before, there is possibly an entire abandoned fortress full of people dead because of me. Good people, clever people, hard-working people. Some idiots too, yes, but they didn't deserve it either. That is a fuck-up I cannot fix. I don't know where your faith in me has come from. We haven't seen each other in God, 30, 35 years? I'm not the same person I was before. I'm just gonna get up and leave.
She turns and like organizes a couple of pieces of paper on her desk, and sort of as you take the door handle to walk out, just one problem at a time, Nora. One step at a time. And then turns and goes back to her sort of work.
Easy for someone to say who has lots of it.
You now hear the sound of like running boots. Amorous is running down the corridor. Just okay, I'm gonna go. So yeah, I think as you come out, Doctor, great. Did you send all the messages? Oh, sorry.
I did.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Nope. What is it?
Randall House. We're going to the library. There's secret histories.
Good. Take me there.
Fully salutes you. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Turn around to the other two, be following. Probably haven't been running. Just, okay, yeah. A little bit like look at the two and sort of like a little bit of like going, something's going on here, but we haven't got time to. Yeah, let's go.
You head down to the south of the fortress and come to another place that I think all of you three would be relatively familiar with once again. It's also quite a welcome. It's one of the other only really welcoming, warm places sort of to relax. And Randall House is in their usual spot in the mushroom garden, cultivating God knows what. But sorry, I'm just going to double check. They are just working away with a curved blade, taking off the bottom of stems and putting them in a basket. Randall House is a loxodon, but quite, for loxodons, relatively small, quite gangly. Always wears these incredibly long, lavish, red and yellow cloaks and robes, and they are the foremost in pretty much all of the history and knowledge you may need when it comes to the actual wall and its history. They certainly aren't someone that you'd see on the wall unless it was really dire. They smile. Hello. Just bear with me. And Darius, give me a hand up, please.
Of course.
They clutch their back as you pull them up. Riley, please just grab the basket. We'll go in. I'm pretty sure
you're supposed to use the kneeling seat when you're tending the mushrooms.
Oh, but whenever the warriors come out of the barracks, they always make fun of me. And I know they're jesting, and I appreciate that, but it always hurts my old little heart.
If you don't use the seat, you're going to hurt your old little back, so damn what they think it looks like.
Hello? I don't believe we've met before.
No, pleased to meet you, Dr. Duronni.
Randall House, keeper of the library and historical significant information, sort of.
I hear you have a selection of books that we should be getting acquainted with in regards to the history of this place and the plague.
Yes, there's an ample of them on the shelves. Please help yourself. Let me know if you're looking for anything.
Randall House, it's can we go somewhere quiet? I think we won't be. We want to know some secrets.
Okay.
Arms full of mushroom paraphernalia. Just
Amaris, just don't breathe for now. Okay. Right, brilliant. I'm pretty sure the pot of tea is on, so let's...
Yeah, as the undead.
The one who doesn't breathe takes the mushrooms away from Ritler.
Also the one who hasn't been running everywhere is just gently panting.
So I've just been like prestidigitating the air around your face just for a second.
People just can't take their arsenic nowadays. God,
Yeah.
yeah.
You'd only pass out for a couple of hours, it'd be fine.
Oh, sleep. That'd be nice.
They invite you in and sort of direct you to sit around the fireplace, where you can see hanging there is a pot of a kettle that's sort of like just swinging away, boiling, and it sort of begins to whistle as you enter into the room. Please sit. Now I'm going to ask for... I think I know what you may be insinuating, but I need to ask for you need to be very specific about what you're asking. There's no rule for me to not give them, but you need to know exactly what you're asking for me to give you them. Do you understand?
Of course. Sirius will look around, just make sure that there's nobody else in the room, and then just decide to go for a telepathic message instead. We're here to talk about Umbrivore.
That will do. And they go across and shut the door and latch across. They then walk and take the pot. In fact, they pass a oven glove to Xerius and ask you to... could you just take the pot while it's steaming off? I need access to the fireplace.
Of course. Xerius will take the pot and then presumably knows where all of the cups are and will go and pour 5 cups of tea.
There's like a nice little station on the other side. Because one cannot do research without a pot of tea. And then to everybody else who's watching, they stick their hands directly into the fire. No reaction, no sizzling, no burning. And they go through and you notice them slot something across. A twist of the wrist and hand shows them, you wouldn't need a roll there, clearly changing or deactivating some sort of ward or rune with incantations, and slots open a board that slides across, and you can see inside, slotted in, are multiple volumes of books and pieces of paper. They take 2 of the books out, slot it, recast the ward, and pull their hands out. Neither the books, the papers, the hands, or the clothes seem to be damaged in any form. As they turn around and go, please, take a seat. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
But you're about to give us so much more lore.
We want more lore.
Give us a story, mate.
Shadow puppet show.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure out whether I need to give you a condensed version or whether
I've given a
viewers will be
PowerPoint on
"Mine
stream,
was
so
so
just...
and actually get something done. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, for being part of this kind of information heavy and, something a little different. I can't remember the last time I did a full-on, procedure of finding out information and all sorts. But that was what tonight's show was. If you enjoyed tonight, we play D&D every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. UK time. You can also join us on Fridays, again from 6 p.m. UK time, for other TTRPGs. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of all the shows available anywhere, so just search Roll Together RPG and they'll come up. I'm currently trying to work my way through them while I'm at work, but there is just so much for you to get stuck into, so highly recommend that. Massive thank you always to our D20 club on Patreon. There will be a link in chat. Do join them. Every penny makes what we do, and just we really appreciate it. So a big thanks again to all our sponsors and supporters. And don't forget, we're all over social media as, again, Roll Together RPG. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.